Hello everyone, welcome back to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome to another Sims 4 video. So for those who may not know, I am a contestant on the new reality TV show The Sims Sparked. I am very happy to announce something here in this video. I think some who follow me on Twitter already realize what's going on, but yeah, since I am there in this reality TV show called The Sims Sparked, where Simmers basically compete against each other with the best stories, the best Sims and the best builds, and I'm there as a builder in Team Gnome. Episode 1 is already out on BuzzFeed Multiplayer if you want to watch this, and the next episode will air on Friday, again on Saturday on TBS, and then will be globally available online again on BuzzFeed Multiplayer. So tune in. I will also link to everything you need to know about the show in the video description down below. But yeah, why am I doing this video? So for those who don't know, we won, little spoilers here for episode 1, but me and my team, we won a challenge where we could create a family and of course a build where they live, and the winner basically of this challenge got to have the family and the build in the game. So here is a little snippet out of episode 1 where you can basically see the machinima and yeah, why we basically won this whole thing. So enjoy, and I will talk to you later.
All right, Team Gnome, you won the skills challenge. Let's see if you can make it 2 in a row. Team Gnome, set up the story for us.
This is a conventional family, but with an unconventional twist. Hi, I'm Aaliyah. My family is a little unconventional. We look happy, but it's taken a while to get here. Let me take you back. My parents are great, but they weren't great together. My dad worked a lot to support us, which meant he didn't have enough time for me and my mum. Granddad kept pushing him to take over the family business in San Myshuno and be the best that he could be, which ultimately pushed my mum to leave with me. For a while, my mum tried to make the most of what we had, until she stumbled across Mary and Blossom. They helped us to build a life together. Mary's favourite thing is being out in the sun and tending to her garden. Being the explorer I was and learning to live off the land made me discover my love of gardening. Dad was impressed with our quality crops and dedication. He even used his business knowledge to help me set up shop and start selling my crops. Mary and Blossom taught me to follow my passions. My mum, well, she taught me to never give up. And my dad taught me how to make those sweet simoleons.
Alright, welcome back. So this is why we won this challenge. It is basically a little family with a cute little story that Mollie, the EnglishSimmer, came up with, and I'm really happy, by the way, that I got this amazing team. So here we are in Willow Creek. As you can see, one of the rules basically of this challenge was that we can only build in Willow Creek, but any lot that we wanted. I chose the big park over here. This is also the end protagonists living in here. Of course, I'm only going to talk about the build and how my build made it into the game in the end. But yeah, let's just have a little look around at actually what I did for that build and what I did at the challenge. So for those who can remember, it was 5 hours. We had 5 hours to create a family, come up with a story, build a house for them. Then of course we had to record lots of video snippets to come up with, yeah, sort of like our idea. And I'm actually really happy how it turned out, to be honest. So let's have a look around. So since I didn't have that much time, or we all didn't have that much time, this is basically the build, and the rest I just made a huge pond out of. So it just is filled. And I really like the whole idea of, well, the production design idea of it was that we have these 2 hippies, Mary and Blossom, living together and kind of, yeah, living off the land and of their own art and producing stuff and so on. Kind of like hippies, a little bit free-spirited, so to speak. And they basically get Aaliyah and her mother living with them together, who then in the end will live in this treehouse. Basically, the treehouse didn't make it in our little machinima end video presentation, But yeah, I'm just here to show you a little bit of it, because this build is in the end basically the base of the build that made it into the game. And yeah, let's just have a little look. So since we just had 2 Sims living here, I had this idea of this fortune teller little like train wagon, kind of also inspired by maybe circus artists' wagons. We could only use base game here, since we only had Willow Creek and base game in the first place, and later on we could choose what kind of pack we get as well, which was San Myshuno, the World San Myshuno, which is from City Living. So, but I think everything here should be base game. So let's have a little look into the little caravan here. And this is basically, let's flip it, because this will be relevant later. So yeah, we have a little bed because it's just 2 Sims. They have a little kitchen area here with a microwave and a fridge. And I even made a little bar stool here so they can sit and eat there. But the main idea was, of course, that they eat outside. And yeah, Blossom is the artist. So we have a little easel here quite next to the door. And yeah, the bathroom is over here with like a greenish shower, and we wanted to make it as colorful as possible, but still keep the whole idea that it's made out of wood, like a wooden cart, so to speak. And of course, lots and lots of clutter, because they have been living here quite a while and have like tiny little knickknacks everywhere. So that was basically the whole idea. As you can see, the Sims already have their bed. And this was the treehouse. I'm not going too much into detail, but since we had the toddler, Aaliyah, she has a little toddler bed and the mom should sleep over here. So that was the whole idea of the treehouse, that they, when they moved in and became like this big new patchwork family, that they moved into the treehouse, but it in the end didn't make it into the final movie. So the whole idea is that Mary and Blossom basically grow their own crops. So I had these rows like painted on them on the ground, and kind of made these stacking little plants here. There's also like a short little, I would say, snippet where they grow, which I basically just used multiple tiny little crops or like plants in here. Let me put in the bb.move objects cheat so we can freely stack them on one another again. But yeah, basically this is the whole trick that I used, and also I made like bigger trees next to them or something. And yeah, basically they grow their own crops with the planters. So this will all be quite prominent in the build that in the end made it. So what I want you to look at specifically is this long table with the fruit bowls and lots of different chairs. Of course, we have the planters, we had the tree house, and of course this kind of caravan, fortune teller wagon, whatever, where Mary and Blossom sleep. So these were the, I would say, most important parts. And then, of course, we had this makeshift little selling table here where they sell their own crops and plants and whatnot. And this is how they also make some money. So this is basically what made it. This is like the build that actually made us win the challenge, so to speak, or at least the build that was the background of our whole little story. I will present you a little bit of screenshots so you can have a little bit of reference now, and then we're gonna meet up into the final build that is really in The Sims 4. Yes, I think I'm even the first non-developer who created a little build and that made it in the final NPC houses, so to speak, which is a huge honor. Like, this is something that if you would have told that to my 12-year-old self, I would have not believed you. It is crazy. Here we are in Evergreen Harbour, which is the world that you get if you have the EcoLifestyle expansion pack. So my build and the family of our Team Gnome basically made it into this neighborhood. It's actually, I think, called Port Promise, and the Portsmouth Promenade lot. That's the one of the Greenberg family. As you can see, there's Mary, there's Blossom, and Knox, who you may also know from the front layout packaging thing. And from the trailer of the EcoLifestyle pack. But yeah, let's go into there. I want to go into build mode because I don't want to talk so much about the family, since Jessie and of course Mollie, so that's Plumbella and the EnglishSimmer, made the family, and I don't want to, take that away from them. I really want them to show you what they actually went behind that whole creation and how to transport them into the Sims 4 EcoLifestyle pack. So yeah, it's gonna be a little, you will see what I mean, that it was actually kind of difficult. So, as you could maybe remember, because it was just some seconds ago, I had a huge lot, 50 by 50. This lot that they gave us is 30 by 20. So it is way smaller, and I had to put everything in a way smaller lot. Also, the Willow Creek, of course, is super green. There's lots and lots of park around, lots of trees. And this is basically the industrial neighborhood and the absolute opposite of what we wanted to go for. So I had to change the lot quite a bit. And of course, the Sims 4 team was so nice to give us the opportunity to do so. And of course, incorporate lots of the new EcoLifestyle packs. So the whole idea behind this build is, how can I make the original build fit in here? How can I make it a little bit more industrial so it fits the whole surrounding? And yeah, let's have a look at everything. So here's a little tour. First of all, everything is a little bit more cramped together. But as you can already see, we have still not a fortune teller circus wagon, but a shipping container. I thought this is the industrial counterpart of that. I put in so many planters because crop fields just didn't make any sense. Since this is like an industrial concrete kind of lot, and it wouldn't have fit the whole idea behind it. But when we go inside, you can already see that the layout is basically the same. We have the bed over here, we have the small kitchen with a microwave over here with some counters, and on the other side we have, of course, still the easel for Blossom so she can paint and also get some money for selling the paintings. We'll still have the super green shower that we already have in the original build, so to speak, from the challenge. But I added, of course, some things from the EcoLifestyle pack. So, of course, the bed is EcoLifestyle and the rest is basically base game and EcoLifestyle meshed together. No other packs, of course. So yeah, basically, I wanted to put everything as it was before. I had, of course, some restrictions because it was actually also quite interesting to learn about how does the Sims team actually build the NPC houses. And oh boy, I had a lot of restrictions that I would usually never give myself because in my opinion, stuff looks weird then. But yeah, I will talk about this later. Let's just go through some other aspects that I wanted to include. So remember the huge table with lots of the different chairs and the 3 fruit bowls? Well, it is here as well. That is the whole idea. They don't have a place to eat here in the caravan, the shipping container. So basically they do that out here as well. And since we had, of course, a barbecue in the original lot, I put a little more industrial looking barbecue over here so they can barbecue and basically eat here. We have the planters, not the crop fields, but the planters, so they can still plant. And of course they have the little table where they can sell their goods. In the original it was just a normal table, but here in EcoLifestyle, what is it called, the ground floor entrepreneur table is basically perfect for that. So we have that corner over here as well. So basically the whole idea was that these were like hippies, and now they live in Evergreen Harbour and of course want to make everything green again. And also like create some things themselves. So we have the candle station from the new pack, the fabricator and like the recycler. They are like super green and eco-friendly people who also want to raise the eco-friendly footprint, to a green footprint basically. And then we still had the idea with the treehouse. So what should I do with the treehouse was my idea. Like, oh Jesus, what should I do? And the whole idea behind that was, okay, I think the industrial counterpart of a treehouse is a crane. So I built a crane. The team already told me that we got to have ladders. So the whole idea was for me to I already trained to build a crane like this, and wanted to make sure that everything works. And with the ladder, of course, it all worked fine. So basically I made the crane because we only had Mary and Blossom as the original family, and the Sims team wanted us to put Knox in there as well as their adoptive son. We agreed to that, but then Knox, of course, needed a place to sleep and have bathroom. So the crane is basically Knox's little, bedroom. His little, that's his little corner over here. And downstairs is, of course, a bathroom for him as well. So yeah, that was the whole idea why I built the crane. The Sims team basically also, now I have to see what kind of, because we agreed to something. I want to see if that's, oh no, they didn't change that. Okay, so yeah, this is basically my build that made it into The Sims 4 EcoLifestyle. If you have The Sims 4 EcoLifestyle, or if you want to get it, or if you have it and you installed it, it is here in Port Promise, and it's called the Portsmouth Promenade, living with the Greenberg family over here. I think we don't have any traits. I think, I didn't add them. But basically, this is an NPC house, and I think I'm the first creator who is not a deaf, who gets to build something for a pack or for an NPC house that is already there. And I also want to thank everyone on Twitter, because lots of people praised it without them even knowing that I built this. And I really hope that in the future, lots of other builders from the community get the opportunity to build the NPC houses, because that would be just amazing. So let me talk about a little bit how this all happened. So basically, the Sims team, not so long ago, before the release, of course, of EcoLifestyle, contacted us, this Team Gnome, and asked, hey, so we still have that deal and we're gonna keep our promise. Why don't you guys make a family and a build for, the Sims 4 EcoLifestyle? And we were like, excuse me, what? This is crazy. So, they basically gave us like a developer version of it. That was super, like a pre-beta version. I'm still not sure if I can show screenshots of that, because some things were added way later on. I can remember that when I started to build with that version of the game, I think like these little knickknacks weren't even there. So it was kind of like a very bare neighborhood. But it is actually quite interesting as a builder. So for me, the restrictions were not to use any cheats like move objects. So this is all without the move objects cheat. Please don't use so many different items and swatches, if I remember correctly. And basically make sure that Sims can use everything, nothing is blocked, and that you have all the necessary things. So I can remember that in the beginning I just made the caravan and a little bit of the crane. Actually the dev team was really, really nice to me and explained everything and every little step that I have to take to test this, if this is okay. Because apparently they have a really low, like their threshold of how many items and how much stuff can be on one lot is, in my opinion, of course, not for my PC. It is for like a super old laptop, I guess. So that basically I don't build too much, and with lots and lots of different objects, lots of clutter, lots of details, and the loading time is beyond beyond everything. So of course I had to basically build. Then they gave me some feedback about what's still missing, where the Sims can go to. So there was like a back and forth with the build, definitely. But actually, in my opinion, I think they signed a little bit. Like it felt like it wasn't that much that we went back and forth. I can remember that they said, "Hey, you forgot the exterior garbage, so we added these two over here. So I had this in here. I had, of course, a gnome here as like a reference, but then again, it was a new object that has a new swatch and so on. So I deleted the gnome. Also, maybe I was not even sure if I was allowed to put the gnome as like a hint, because at that point we didn't even know when we can say that we built this, that we created a family, etc. So it was actually very interesting. And I think still, if you have the whole no use objects, don't use so many different items. This is, by the way, also why I used lots of these base game planters and the planters from the EcoLifestyle pack, because I wanted it to be green. I wanted it to be as close, let's just say, from the feeling, from the theming to the original challenge build as possible, but still, of course, fit into this wonderful, let's just go in there, into this wonderful world of, the industrial neighborhood here of Evergreen Harbour. And I'm actually quite happy how it turned out, that they signed it off. I still think they kind of made me use more than maybe allowed. At least that's what it felt like. Maybe they didn't. But yeah, I have to say that I'm really happy that I could engage with the devs and talk to them. And yeah, let's, go behind the scenes a little bit of the process, how a build makes it into the game. And that was super fascinating. And I hope maybe that I can talk about this more maybe in an interview or so, but I'm still not sure how much I can reveal of that, of course. I just wanted to show you the process that went behind my side, basically, of the build and how this all came along. But I really also want to thank everyone on the Sims team, from the Sims Spark, that they kept their promise, that they helped us that much, because I had to kind of, go back and forth talking about the build, what I have to delete and whatnot. And I want to thank you that they all took their time and made this possible. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy that I could build the crane, and that they didn't go with, oh my god, this is crazy, why can't we just get rid of the crane? But yeah, I'm really, really happy that it turned out so good. For the restrictions that I had. And I think it is the most usable build that I ever did, because I rarely playtest them, and definitely I never have like a dev team debugging the whole thing and test this like with, I don't know what they use for that. That could be like an interesting video interview question as well. But yeah, write me in the comments if you want to see a video about this, how actually the whole process is behind how a build gets into the game and the real game as an NPC house, because that would be, I think, very interesting also for builders and also other Sims players. I think this is like a cool way to see how long it actually takes until everything is approved and makes sense in the game. And for me, it was super interesting. I want to show you some little panning shots now, so you can have a better look at everything. But basically, if you have the EcoLifestyle pack, you can have a look at this. It is there. It is right there. And also there is a interview of me and Mollie about the whole process on thesims.com/sparked, which I will also link down below. And yeah, this is basically it, guys. Enjoy the little panning shots again. And I hope I could explain everything behind the whole creation of this build and the family. For the family, of course, I will link to the videos of my Team Gnome teammates, Plumbella and EnglishSimmer, who also will probably do some videos about this. And yeah, this is basically it. Please subscribe to my channel if you are into Sims 4 building, the Sims 4 in general. And yeah, write me in the comments down below what kind of questions you still have about this whole thing. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you liked it, that it maybe inspired you as well to build something like this, or maybe you have some other ideas. If you did some renovations of this build, then let me know. I will gladly look at everything. Because I'm always eager to see all your creations. And yeah, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.